What's up guys, welcome back to the Crossout. On this episode I will show you how to build this kind of light spaced armor. On a previous episode I showed you the difference between the heavy armor build and the deco armor build, and as you saw it was the same kind of performance against triple executioners. But on this episode I will show you how to actually build the spaced armor to make it effective. So let's try to explain this as well as possible. So the idea of this is that the deco parts, the big parts, they catch the shell, and then the explosion radius is not gonna hit behind the other parts. So that's the idea of this, and you have to mix it with heavy armor to not heavy but heavier armor to make it really effective. Just as effective as these armor panels like I showed you on the previous episode. So the first thing, these snow tires are really good for spaced armor. Also the inflatable mammoths, I don't think I have any of them at the moment, but they are also very good. Anything big is really good, including these donuts, they're really good. And the neon santas, these are really good on a hovers. So if you take the first shot, it's gonna take off probably like this, something like that, depending on the angle. And not only, I'm gonna just show you, not only it makes a good, armor, but it also confuses the crosshairs. Okay, not on this build maybe, because it's quite well grouped, but I'm gonna try to show you a good scenario of this. So this here is one good example of how it can confuse the crosshairs, or well, just bug it out. See, look at that, how it starts to bounce. See, one cannon, it just aims over, like I don't know where it's going, see, and that's because of that deco armor, the way the parts are. If you aim really slow, then yeah, but see, sometimes it just jumps over, and that's because of this deco armor, see. And that's why it's really good on hovers. If you place it like in key places, then it can confuse the crosshair, and it's very difficult for an enemy to actually hit you right in the gun. So if you try to aim and then a little bit left, then yeah, you can. But in a battle you never have enemies standing still like this, so you have to just like take a quick shot, and then it like bounces up, and see where it goes. Look at that. What the heck is that? Look for what what is that? See? That's what I mean, that it can confuse the crosshair. So now that you know how the deco armor works, now let's explain how to build this. I mean the details about it. So like I explained, if you get shot, then it first takes out, let's say, these parts in here, like so. Then the next shot, this is like heavier, it takes out maybe this. These gun mounts, these are very good for the spaced armor because they let damage through. It even says wireframe gun mount can be shot through. So these are extremely good to put somewhere in the beginning, but not in the completely in the front. I usually use these like I showed you. I put some of them light parts in here, and then I'll put these deco parts in the front, so this is really good for that. Right, and then behind these you should put a little bit heavier armor, not like heavy, but something like this. So the idea of this is that these first catch the shells, this explodes, and that still leaves you with a layer of heavy armor. So if a machine gun starts shooting at you, then this will take the damage. So anyway, the next shot should take out these if it comes from a cannon. These ones, they do stop the cannon shells, so they, the damage is like spread across. Maybe next shot takes out this, and this is the same idea. This frame in here, it lets the damage through, and this one in here, it catches the bullet, the shell from the cannon. It catches it, explodes. Well, obviously if you get hit with a cannon, then this part will probably fall off. But that's the idea, that the spaced armor is also effective not only against the cannons, but also against machine guns and shotguns. So if you get shot with a machine gun, then this falls off, damage goes through this, then these will fall off, and then this part in here, that's gonna take some damage, durability 47, not much, but I'm just explaining the idea. So this can stop some of the machine guns and stuff. But if you take a cannon shot, then this will stop the damage. Then again, the explosion radius maybe is going to take out this much, something like that. Or if you have a combination, a machine gun takes out this one and then you get hit with a cannon, then this part in here still catches the, the damage and then takes out the rest in here. So again, if this part even goes out or not, that's just, in between, just, make it a bit stronger. And then the same idea, this catches the, the shell, the explosion radius goes through, might even take this one out. And again, the same principle in here. And against the scorpions, that's also very good, because scorpions, I think they penetrate 6 layers of armor, something like this. So it's also very good if you have, the spaced one like this. If a scorpion hits you and tries to hit you into the explosives, if you have a neutrino scope, it's really amazing, the neutrino scope. Then it's not gonna work. It's gonna just take out some of the armor and then it's gonna just stop somewhere in here. So that's really good against the, the scorpions too. So that's the idea behind this, and I'm gonna actually see if I can make this better. I already know that all this in here, what I have, takes 5 shots to destroy this build. So I'm gonna try to perfect this a little bit. I'm gonna just show you, just in case, to take the 5 shots and just show you that it's 5 shots. Let's just do this. Let's do 1. See, that's exactly how it works. It catches the shell. Okay. That's 2. Yeah, the neon Santa is there. 3. That should take the... Yeah, see, the one of these is still there, the frame. But the ammo box is already burning. That's 4th shot. Okay, I went with a 4th shot. It was 5 before, but it depends where you shoot, In a battle you never get a perfect shot like this, but 4 to 5 shots from a triple executioner. So I'm gonna spend some time in here and see if I can make it better without putting on much weight or any parts. I'm gonna try to make it better with a similar parts limit and see how well I can do. So I was making some tests, and the only way to make this better is to make it longer. So that's the only way. Or well, put more heavier armor, like remove these 2 and put one of these panels in here. Because from this distance it doesn't really make any difference. The idea of the big parts is that they cover really well and they stop the shells. They are good for just 1 cannon hit. They are really well protected against it. I mean, they protect the build really well against the cannons. But I'm gonna show you what I mean with this. I'm gonna just remove these and I'm gonna make a small test area. And I'll show you what I mean, that there is no point putting more armor. So I'm gonna put just 2 neon Santas right in the front in here. Gonna remove this, and I'm gonna put 1 donut right in here. So I'm gonna put 2 in here. And I expect this first shot to take out only these and not the donuts. So let's test it out, shall we? Okay, ready to fire, and fire! And there we go. See, it didn't touch anything else. Let's examine the damage. I'm trying to explain how it works. See, it took out 8 blocks of armor from what I can see. So the next protective layer should be on this edge in here. So let's try to add something in there. So I came up with this kind of design. This should work exactly how I want it. I had to raise the cannons because the snowmen are a bit too high. But let's see if my theory is correct. Let's try to shoot the middle. Perfect. It didn't take the donuts out. It took 8 blocks exactly. So let's hit again. That works exactly how I planned, I think. Yeah, there's the next layer, so let's hit in the middle. That was the 3rd shot. Yeah, that was the 3rd shot. So let's see if it survives. That was the 4th shot, and is that the 5th? It's still 5 shots, to be honest, but it did take less damage from the first shots. I don't know what's going on now. It just takes everything off for some reason. But yeah, that proves my point that the first shot, it doesn't matter how much armor you have behind there, it still takes the same amount off. Just to test this theory, I'm gonna take all this off and I'm gonna take 1 armored panel like this one. And I'm gonna put this just before the donuts. Okay, actually it might hit it, so what I'm gonna do is take this off, put it in here. Then I'll take these off. Put this in here. Whoops, wrong place. In here. And come on. Oh, come on. And in here. I think this should not make any difference, but let's give it a go. Wait. Actually, I have to move these a little bit. One block forward, because I moved this one outwards. Wait, I moved them, yeah, one block outwards. So, okay, let's test. Okie dokie, ready for that first hit again. Let's see. It didn't take the donuts out. But, well, it didn't take the donuts out in the first time either, but it still proves my point that the heavy armor in the front doesn't really matter. But now I want to show you something that most people don't know. A lot of people want to put heavy armor in the front. Like, let's see, what do we have? Durability. They want to put something like this in the front and think that this is going to actually help them. But I don't think it will. Maybe this huge heavy part might actually help, but let's just test it out. I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to help. I think it's still gonna take up to donuts, or maybe even take one of the donuts out. Let's see. I have to just hit it straight in the middle. Right there. Yep, see, it still took the donuts out. So that just proves my point that there is no point putting all this heavy armor out in the front, because it doesn't really change anything. As you just saw, whoops, wrong button. As you just saw, it makes no difference if you have this super heavy 300 kilo panel in here, or you have these Neon Santas, which weigh only 14 kilos. You can even put one Neon Santa in here. That's still not gonna make any difference. It has 17 durability and only 14 kilos compared to the heavy panel that is like 300 kilos. So it's still gonna do the same amount of damage, see? Exactly to the donuts and nothing any further. And it's gonna take the same amount of shots again to take out the build. That was the second one, third one. Yeah, it's the same amount it's gonna take the fourth one, yeah, and the fifth is gonna explode it. So this is the idea behind the space deco armor, that they just catch the bullets. See, this made no difference either in here, so I can just put this back. And if we move these donuts 2 blocks backwards, that should actually make a difference. So we have, how much is it? It's 8 blocks, isn't it? Yeah, it's 8 in, yeah, or 10 blocks, I think, something like this. It depends, I guess, how well you hit. So only one Neon Santa will do just fine. I don't even need these donuts in here. I could put something else in there. So it doesn't matter if you put anything else behind it in here. It doesn't really save you. Like, I could put these 2 in here, but I don't think it will make any difference at all. Well, guys, I tested some more for you, and the only way to make this better is just the longer armor, and nothing else helps. So, and answer to the question, which is the best way to build this? Well, the answer is that you make a hybrid armor, like I have it in here. You put mix the heavy with the light armor, so it is good against machine guns, shotguns, and cannons. In other words, it's good against all types of fires, so all types of attacks. So yeah, the cannons, they are the most problematic things when you're on a hover, so you have to protect yourself against the hovers, and this is the best way to do it. And before I end this video, I'm gonna show you one more time that there is no point putting heavy parts in the front to catch the shells. So this Neon Santa should provide as good protection as any of these parts. So let's put this theory to the test. I'm gonna just take a shot with one cannon to have a very consistent results. So I expect exactly the same results if I replace that with a heavier part. So let's do this and shoot right in the middle. And what did we get? How many parts did fall off? 3. It took the deco armor off in 3 parts. And see, this is why you use the gun mount, because the explosion goes right through it. Let's see what happens if I take another shot. I'll just reverse out a little bit and shoot somewhere in there. And that took out another 4 parts, I believe. What the hell is that? No, it's it was 3 parts. So yeah, the deck armor just stopped, like took the explosion, and that's about it. So I'm gonna replace this deco armor with one of these parts. I'll put this in the front, and I expect this to take out exactly 3 parts again. And once again, this deco, not the deco, the gun mounting, it takes some of the damage from the cannon, appears like it at least. Didn't even know this before. But let's see, it's yes, it's 3 parts again. And yeah, this gun mount, it kinda like stops the shell. See, it acts like little bit as armor. See, it still takes out 3 parts, as you can see. Let's test it without this and that, just to see if it even makes a difference. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure if Executioner penetrates that completely, or it actually puts some damage into it. So let's see how many it takes off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see? It definitely helps a lot. I think it's just you know, the penetration of this. It took 5 blocks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how much is it. It's 4. Wait, how did I have it before? I had gun mount in the front, right? I had the gun mount in the front, like this. Yeah, it's definitely less. See, that's 4 blocks total. See. So if you put the gun mount and then you put some kind of deco armor in here, then it definitely helps. Without this, it took off 5 of these. With this, it took only 3. And I mean, if you had the Neon Santa in here, it took only 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3. So it penetrates from here up to here, takes these off, and then the next shot takes this off, and all of these 3. So I hope this gives you really good idea of how the space armor can really save you. Last and not least, let's put this kind of plow in here. It's 128 kilos, 28 durability. If you put the super heavy plow, I already know that's gonna help because it's stronger than 1 cannon shell. But if 1 cannon shell can destroy the part, then it makes absolutely no difference what kind of part you put in there to protect it with. Yeah, see, this part, it took the shell because it is, you know, stronger than the cannon itself, so that's why only 1 part came off. And then the next one, yeah, that's what I expected. It took 4 off because this thing in the front, it took most of the damage, and then the first this lunatic part, it took a little damage, so next shell took off 4 of them instead of 3 of them. But as you can see, it really doesn't make difference if you're going to, you know, the weight to durability ratio. I mean, look at this. That's durability is 86 and 128 kilos, while the Neon Santa, look at that, only 17 durability and 14 mass, and it does almost as good job as that plow. So there is really no difference, you know, between them. And if you put the snow tires in here, this should actually help a lot. It should only take one block off, or maybe 2, but let's test this tier 2. Because this snow tires, it's a lot bigger, so it should, you know, catch the shell a lot better. Let's try this. Let's shoot it right on the head. There we go. Yep, it only took the snow tires off, see, and nothing else. Yeah, it didn't take anything else off. And next shot should take 3, I think. Yep, 3. See, this snow tires, this is better armor than this plow thing. Not the plow, the pull bars. The thing I just showed you, the Terry pull bars. I think this one, yeah, this one. So if you compare these two, then don't put these in the front. Put something like this. That's what you need. That's how the spaced armor works. That's the idea behind it. It doesn't let the, you know, shells through. Of course, against machine guns and stuff, the deco armor is not that great at all. But this video was about how the spaced armor works, how it can save you, how to build it. I hope this answered all of your questions. I hope this helps you build the deco space light armor thing, and I will see ya next time.